Pistons Live on FanDuel Sports Network is presented by Cure Auto Insurance. That's the playoffs. At some point, someone's season is going to come to an end, and the Pistons does tonight's 116-113, the final in Game 6. Thanks for staying with us following Game 6. Tim McCormick, Grant Long, Mickey York at the Cure Auto Insurance Desk. We will hear from J.B. Bickerstaff, take you inside a disappointed Pistons locker room in just a moment as well. But, guys, I guess we have to begin with how this game finished. Jalen Brunson with the dagger, and yet the Pistons still had an opportunity to get one last look to Malik Beasley. If only he could have held on. You're left to wonder what might have been as we look at our GMC Pro Vision.
Well, the thing that jumps out at me, it was a perfect pass. It hit him right in the shooting pocket. I don't see how you miss that shot. You know, I'm sure that here defensively, Ausar Thompson lost his defensive integrity. He stood up. He was bumped off of his position. And then, you know, that's what the NBA's clutch player of the year, Jalen Brunson, does. And then here, beautiful pass, hit him right in the shooting pocket. And, you know, more than anything else, 2:35 to go in the game. You've got a 7-point lead. Somehow you've got to grab a rebound, make a free throw, dive on the floor, make some kind of a play. That's an epic collapse. The Knicks go on an 11-1 run to steal that victory from the Pistons.
I want to welcome in George Blaha and Greg Kelser. Great job calling not only the playoffs, but these games all season long. And gentlemen, it was a heck of a season. It was a heck of a series. And I think we can all agree, George, we weren't ready for it to end just yet.
No, sir. I was looking forward to Game 7. As I said to Greg, I know the Knicks were not looking forward to a Game 7. The Pistons battled them tooth and nail all the way to the end. And I know New York felt uneasy, just as the Pistons to a degree felt uneasy. This was an even-Steven series. It only went 6, but it certainly could have gone 7.
You know, the thing that's crazy, and you know, we've all seen plenty of crazy things given our years around this league. But when you go back and you look at these two teams on the season, on the year, they end up playing 10 games. And the road team won 8 of them.
Wow.
Each team got 1 home win and then 4 more on the road. It's just unfortunate that for the Knicks, for the Pistons, the Knicks got 3 of them during the playoffs here at Little Caesars Arena. But this is probably about as even as you could ever imagine two teams playing. And I would imagine it would probably be that way if they played 10 more games, you know, winning by a hair. Yeah, the thing that's so disappointing to me, though, is that it looked like the Pistons had it in hand with 2:33 to go, up 112-105, and that's 3 possessions, and they would score but 1 point the rest of the way.
And that was a Duren free throw.
And that was the Duren free throw, and they got stormed by the Knicks, whose pressure and intensity and playing it to the very end won out. The Pistons looked a little tired at the end. They didn't seem to have the legs to finish the race. But that's all a part of the learning experience and what it takes to get over the top in the playoffs. New York had it, and the Pistons will have it next time, I'd imagine. But a lot to be gained in terms of learning what it takes during this now, you know, great season. Once we get a little bit further away from it, we will be able to really say how good this season was. But right now, it just feels like devastation.
I talked myself hoarse trying to talk above the fans here. Hats off to them. But the fans here started to act like the Palace fans who pushed the Pistons to championships. And I think they can push this group to the top sooner or later, and it could be sooner.
You know what each guy has to do now is look at what was achieved this year and then make your minds up that it's not enough. And that will guide your off season and what you do to come back better. The one thing I can applaud this team for, and there are many things I can, but I will say this, their heart and their determination and their resilient attitude. They lost Jaden Ivey on January 1st. They were supposed to falter. They didn't. They suffered back-to-back buzzer beaters to Atlanta and Cleveland in early February, won a game under 500. They were supposed to fall apart. They didn't. Then they get to the playoffs and they lose the very valuable player in Isaiah Stewart. And they were supposed to just drop dead from there. They didn't. They kept coming back. They kept fighting back. New York knows that they were in a series. Boston can be happy because the Knicks have been extended and I won't say softened, but they're going to go into that series a little bruised and battered and maybe even tired, thanks to the Pistons. So take all that stuff, but make sure that you work hard and you give yourselves another chance next year to exceed what you did this year.
Game 6 of the NBA playoffs, first round Eastern Conference action. Cade Cunningham, Jalen Brunson getting ready. And in the first, Brunson getting in his bag. Post up, turn around, splash. Then Karl Anthony Towns drives baseline. The tough layup off the glass. OG Anunoby in the corner pocket. Got it. Knocks down the triple. Then Cat on the rebound. Outlets to Brunson, who drives, pulls up, stop, pop, knocks down the shot. 15 first quarter points for Brunson. McBride knocks down the jumper to end the quarter. New York up 14 after 1 in the second. The Pistons would storm back. Malik Beasley's sidestep three-point shot. Then off the turnover, Harris runs the fast break. They find Beasley in the corner to knock down the triple. They Cade the crossover. The alley-oop. Jalen Duren and one. Hangs in the air. Takes the contact. Gets the layup off the glass. Then Duren finds Malik Beasley. Other quarter. Gets the three, score tied at 49. Score tied at 49. Josh Hart, alley-oop to OG Anunoby to put the Knicks up 4. Then Cade, left-handed dribble, gets to the lane. Righty floater is good. First lead of the game for Detroit. At the half, Malik Beasley, turnaround, fade away, three-pointer, buzzer beater to give the Pistons a 2-point halftime lead. 18 points, 6 of 11 from 3 in this half from Malik Beasley. Detroit up 2 at recess. In the third, Knicks get back into control. Bridges finds Josh Hart, knock it down the wing triple. Then Jalen Brunson off the dribble, pull up 3 from the same wing. Then Brunson finds Bridges under the hoop, reverse layup. Knicks still storming. OG, the block on Harris. Knicks running a fast break. Mikal Bridges, crossover. And poster dunk on Cade Cunningham. Defense turning into offense. Rising up with the left hand. Then Brunson working the post. Foul line jumper. One leg fadeaway. Got it. 30 points through 3 quarters. Knicks up 12. Then Brunson misses jumper, cleans up his own offensive glass and gets the put-back layup to put the Knicks up 11 in the fourth. Pistons had one more run in them. Cade finds Tim Hardaway Jr. for the 3. Then off the Knicks turnover, Schroeder finds Ausar Thompson, the spin, the win, and the layup, part of a 13-0 run to tie the game at 103. Ausar Thompson rips Josh Hart and skies in for the layup. Pistons go up 4. We're getting down into clutch time and Brunson working the glass. Hits the fadeaway shot. Absorbs the contact and 1. Pistons were up 7. The free throw cuts the lead to 4. Detroit challenged the call, but the call stand. Then Brunson, that's filthy. Loses his balance, keeps the dribble, spins, and gets the layup off the glass. Then the Knicks down 1. Brunson tries to score on Thompson. Key stop. Turning over the ball with 1 minute left. And on the drive, Duren is fouled. He goes to the line with Detroit up 1. Makes 1 of 2. Off the Brunson miss. Mikal Bridges, the tip, offensive board, score to sky the table 113. Then in the fourth, Brunson the crossover, the pull-up, go-ahead three for Captain Clutch to put the Knicks up 3. With 4 seconds to go, final play. K to Beasley loses the ball out of bounds. Had a wide open 3 and could not corral it. Jalen Brunson, 40 points, 7 assists in this game, and the game-winning shot as the Knicks clinched the series over the Pistons, 116-113.
As we look at what they accomplished this season, presented by Cure Auto Insurance, the tripling the win total, their first playoff berth since 2019, the 22 road wins. I mean, on and on it goes, Grant. That's why wherever the Pistons go from here, a lot of people will point to this season as the beginning.
This game is like squash to me when I was a little kid. Very, very difficult to swallow. But there were so many positive things, as we just pointed out, guys. You can't help but to root for this team. The way that they play, they've taken on the characteristics of Detroit. And what I mean by that is they're resilient, they're tough, they're not going to quit. They're going to give themselves a chance. If there's still time on the clock, they're going to always compete. And those things you can't teach. You just have to embrace them. And everybody on this team has embraced those characteristics. And again, when you start with that as a coach for J.B. Bickerstaff, this is going to make his job a lot easier because he doesn't have to teach those things. They're inherent. It's a culture now with this ball club, this organization, and the sky's the limit.
I would say that he has to walk away saying, I am one small piece away from being a legitimate star caliber player, and that's being able to make a perimeter jump shot. He's a formidable piece of the Pistons' future. And when you look at the numbers, in the last 2 games, games 5 and 6, 13 out of 17 from the field, 37 points, 13 rebounds. He is the best defensive player on the team for the Pistons. And if you look at the fact that he played an average of 26 minutes in those 2 games, I can make a pretty darn good argument that he should have been out there even more than that. He if you look at net rating and plus minus, and Ausar Thompson makes the team better when he's on the court.
What a great leader and great player he was for the Pistons this season, and now heads into the offseason as an unrestricted free agent. That'll be one of the questions facing the Pistons as they head into the summer. We will put a wrap on this season when Pistons Live continues following their Game 6 loss to the Knicks right after this.